who's looked more impressive on their domination tour? Would you say Cleveland or Golden State?
Cleveland. I mean, and what we're seeing is when Cleveland is rested, it's not that all the other guys play are necessarily better rested than when active, but LeBron is better rested, and that makes everyone better. Stephen A. just pointed it out. When LeBron James is rested and he gets not only a lot of rest in the playoffs because, now new rules, like, if you're traveling between cities, it's always going to be 2 days. In the finals, it will be at least 2 days in between games. And just generally, you're never ever playing second and back-to-back on the road, anything like that in the playoffs. But in addition, the Cavs are chopping these teams up so fast that they have long rests in between series. And a rested Cavs team is an unstoppable, it seems, offensive Cavs team and a good enough defensive Cavs team to make quick work of these other Eastern Conference pretenders, who, by the way, are pretty good. It's not that they're just pretenders compared to the Cavs. The Warriors, meanwhile, have, they missed Kevin Durant. First, they had to integrate Kevin Durant early in the season. That took them a while to get used to that. Then they missed him for a while. Took him a while to get used to that. Then he came back. I think they're still just putting the finishing touches on adjusting to that. But we saw against the Spurs, Stephen A., until Kawhi went down, they were getting their lunch take. I mean, they were getting their breaks beat off. They were getting blown out game one at home. So, and the moment Kawhi went down, everything changed. The Cavs have not had a moment like that yet in these playoffs. So I got to say the Cavs have been the more impressive team.
No, to me, it's been the Warriors. And I get your point because I think the only legitimate argument that could be made in favor of the Cavs looking better is how the Warriors looked in game one before Kawhi Leonard went down. Outside of that, they've been in complete cruise control. You had Damian Lillard and C.J. McCollum that goes off in the first half of game one, all right, and they were still at a deficit. And then after that, they were rendered to be the irrelevant team that they were compared to the Warriors. Then you've got the Utah Jazz, obviously, having their 7-game series against the Los Angeles Clippers. But you see Kevin Durant and Steph Curry. You've also seen Steph Curry explode and remind everybody why he's the reigning 2-time league MVP. Despite the fact that Klay Thompson has struggled, you still got 2 superstars in this game in Kevin Durant and Steph Curry that can give it to you. When I look at the Cleveland Cavaliers, I take into account competition. I did not expect much from the Indiana Pacers. I expected more from Paul George in terms of that clutch moment when he bricked that shot with 1.9 seconds left in Game 3. But outside of that, I didn't expect anything from the Indiana Pacers. And they gave, the Cleveland Cavaliers 3 tough games before LeBron and the Cavs closed them out in Game 4. Then we got
CJ
Toronto.
Miles hits that shot, they win a game. Yeah,
that's right. And I never expected much from Toronto, like I told you, because I think they were tailor-made for the Cavs, but it didn't help that Kyle Lowry went down, and Serge Ibaka would be a formidable acquisition under any other circumstances. But when you've got LeBron on the opposite end, he's not going to have much of a profound effect, and he did not. And so I look again at the level of competition. It's hard for me because I know how great LeBron is, and I'm not trying to take any credit away from him at all because he's the greatest in the world. But when I look at the Eastern Conference, particularly Toronto and Indiana, as far as I'm concerned, it's not about not expecting much, but Utah had a good season. And I look at Utah, I look at Portland with that backcourt in a guard-oriented game, and you can see some of the things that they could do. But you still see the Warriors head and shoulders above everybody. They played against Utah, Max, and they had a deficit for about 12 minutes the entire series. That's how much
and Utah
Warriors
was the
have
best
dominated.
Defensive team in the league this year. Yep.
They
Utah
looked,
was the best defensive team in the league this year.
And the Warriors look better, and that's why, because the road was tougher. The competition was tougher than it is in the East.
All right, so Stephen A.
Look, we're asking, do you like a Rolls or a Bentley? I get it. It's splitting hairs.
It does matter, though.
But
which one would you like?
I just saw the Warriors getting their teeth kicked in until Kawhi went down. Hard for me to get that out of my head.
I want to get back to the car. Which one do you like? Because you acting like they the same. Don't you have a preference between the Rolls Royce and the Bentley?
Tesla. I knew you were going to say that. I was going to get in there first.
I was getting ready to say that. That's right.
I so knew
Tesla.
it. I'm going Porsche.